All right, what's up, YouTube? It's Action Jackson. I'm back again. You guys saw my last video, hopefully, about blacks need to do better. That was kind of a heavy topic, but for this one, I'm gonna do something light. It's 1:35 a.m. I kind of have school tomorrow. We actually are expecting hail here in DC tomorrow, and so they cancel classes until 11 o'clock. And I do have a class at 11 o'clock. It's one class is Spanish. I hate that class. So I have a few extra hours to sleep in and I'm bored. So I decided to talk to you guys. But I've had a pretty good day today. I'm a big basketball fan and I'm a Laker fan. And today the Celtics and the Heat played. And normally I root against the Celtics, but lately since the Heat got LeBron, they got a lot of bandwagon fans, and bandwagon fans tend to hate the Lakers and all that stuff. You know how it goes if you're an NBA fan. You watch the NBA. But I was happy because the Heat lost another game to another team without their best player. I mean, Rondo is out with an ACL injury. Unfortunately, he great player. I'm gonna miss him for down the rest of the season. But Derrick Rose is back. Derrick Rose is back. That's good news for the league. So I watched the Heat game. I was happy that they lost. People in my dorm are Heat fans, so they was talking mad stuff. And then the Lakers played the Thunder, and they won their second game in a row. My boy Kobe had almost a triple double. He missed it by a rebound. Second game with 14 assists. And then the Knicks played. I'm not really a Knicks fan, but I like Melo. The Knicks are my team in 2K. If you want to play them in that, you're not gonna beat me. I didn't bring my Xbox to school with me this semester, but I'll be playing during the summer. My gamer tag is jsang05 if you want to play me a game of 2K. I promise you, if you let me choose the Knicks, I will not lose. But anyway, Melo went 9 for 12 from the 3-point line with 42 points. That's my boy. So great day. And actually, I got into an argument with this dude who lives down the hall from me about the Lakers versus Celtics and their all-time teams. And he said that the all-time Celtics would beat the all-time Lakers in a seven-game series. Now you can comment on this. You guys can do your debating and whatever. But I'm telling you right now, the Lakers would beat the Celtics in a seven-game series. If you took all the Celtic greats and all the Laker greats and put them on one team and let them play each other in a seven-game series, the Lakers would win. And I'm about to tell you why. I mean, first of all, let's just talk about matchups. Right now, the Celtics have one of the best point guards in the NBA, and Rajon Rondo. He can score, he can rebound, he can pass. Definitely, he plays defense. He's very good on ball. He can play the passing lanes. Very crafty defender. They have Bob Cousy. I never got to watch Bob Cousy way before my time, but I heard he's pretty good. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. I expect him to be good. But the Lakers have some guy named Magic Johnson. I mean, he's only the best point guard to ever play in the NBA. Period. I mean, Rondo's nice, Kuzi's nice, but I mean, we're talking about Magic Johnson. So, point one goes to the Lakers, and then two, we're gonna go to the two guard. I don't even know who the Celtics would put it to. I mean, they have options. They maybe slide Paul Pierce down to the shooting guard position. Ray Allen, maybe. I don't know, but I don't think it really matters because at the end of the day, Kobe's the second best shooting guard ever to play the game behind Michael Jordan. So they lose that matchup either way. So that's two Lakers, zero for Celtics. And in the forward game will go to the Celtics. I mean, Larry Bird is the greatest small forward ever. As of now. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I'm not a hater either. And I give credit where credit's due. I'm a basketball fan. And LeBron will pass Larry Bird when it's all said and done as the greatest forward ever. But as of right now, Larry's the greatest small forward ever. So I give that edge to them. Even though the Lakers are coming with Big Game James, my man's, with the goggles. Y'all know Big Game James and Elgin Baylor. Well, I'm not sure if Elgin Baylor would play the 4 or the 3 in that situation. But hey, moving on to the 4. Uh, I think I'd give the Celtics the edge again in this because they had a true great power forward in Kevin McHale, arguably the second or third greatest power forward of all time behind Karl Malone and Tim Duncan. And I think he will pose problems for whoever the Lakers decide to put at 4. And I think he would take that matchup. But it gets interesting moving on because the Lakers have 3 of the 4 greatest big men in NBA history in Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Shaq. The fourth, in no particular order, mind you, would be Bill Russell, who's a Celtic. So I think the way they would do it is either Shaq or Wilt would play the four, and Kareem would play the five. And I think they would give Kevin McHale problems in the post, and Bill Russell can't play defense on all of them at once. So I give LA the center position. Feel free to comment on that. Your thoughts, but and coaching too. Oh, who would be the best coach for the Celtics? I don't know. Maybe Red Auerbach, but that you gotta think that's back in the 50s and 60s. It's a new game now. I mean, the Lakers, they could choose Pat Riley or Phil. I mean, they have options. But at the end of the day, I mean, you gotta think. Five, four of the top five greatest scorers in NBA history wore a Laker uniform at one point. Kareem, Karl Malone, um, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kobe Bryant, all in the 30,000 point club. All were Lakers at one point. Kareem and Kobe spent the majority of their careers as Lakers. Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard ever. Big Game James is a Hall of Famer. The Lakers have Jerry West, the NBA logo, coming off the bench for an all-time team. At the end of the day, I just don't see how the Celtics could beat all that. Granted, like in the earlier years, the Celtics won the first 8 championships in the meetings between the Lakers, but I don't really count those. I mean, that was the Bill Russell era. Nobody was beating Bill Russell in those days. But I mean, it's a new day if you put him on these teams. I don't think that his team would be as dominant going against a Kobe, a Magic, or a Shaq. But that's my spiel. Like a lot of basketball today, so I do a lot of basketball talk. Uh, After I watched those games and then argue with him, I went to the library to some study. Came back to my dorm and we got on the 2K. And I told you the Knicks are my team in 2K. I won 3 games in a row with them. Don't play me when I'm the Knicks, cause 2K13 got the signature skills or whatever. I'm gonna tell you guys my secret. So you know how to play me if you ever end up playing me. Just doesn't mean you're gonna stop it. So they got the signature skills that gives each player a boost or whatever. And certain players have certain things. Like for instance, Jason Kidd is on the Knicks. He has 4 signature skills. 3 of them are offensive. One of them is floor general. It gives an offensive boost to all your players on the court at one time. He also has Dimer. And Dimer is for point guards who are really good at getting assists. And it increases the pass. Whoever receives the pass, it gives them a 5 or 10% increase on making their shot or something like that. And he has one more that attributes to offense in some way. I can't think of it. There's Dimer, floor general. It might come to me, but he has those two. And those are very effective when you're playing for a team like the Knicks. And then I'll put JR at my 2 guard. And if you know JR is a very streaky shooter. He can shoot the 3 very well in transition. He can pull up. He can spot up. He can catch and shoot. He does it all. And then I actually put Novak in my starting lineup. And he has the spot up shooter one, which is if they're standing still, they get a 10% increase on their shot going in. And corner specialist is like if defenders late rotating over, their chance of distracting the shooter is decreased by 10%, something like that. And then I have Melo playing power forward, and Melo's Melo. I mean, tonight he had 42 points on 9 of 12 from 3-point line. I mean, but that's what I do. So I put those 5 on the court together, or Tyson Chandler just to anchor my defense. And sometimes if I'm feeling really, really confident on my offense, I'll put Rasheed Wallace at 5 and have him splash threes. But that's what I like to do. I like to spread the floor and have those 4 guys splash threes, or those 3 guys splash threes, and Kid do all the facilitating. I think on my best game, I think Kid might have had 27 assists, and JR and Melo both had 25, and Novak might have had 15 or something. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it. A lot of basketball today. A lot to talk about. Rondo's out with an ACL, but Derrick Rose is back. I'm not gonna say anything about LeBron because they lost today, so I don't have anything to say. Kobe, I gave my props to Kobe. Count on Kobe. He had 21 points on 12 attempts, I think. I think he was 8 of 12 shooting the ball. He had more assists than he actually took shots. Oh, this is one thing I really hate. I really hate when people say that Kobe's a ball hog. I mean, I know dude takes a lot of shots, but how can you call somebody a ball hog win 10 or 11 of the 16 or 17 seasons they played on the team, they led the team in assists. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. That's a dumb criticism in my opinion. Because you got to think the Lakers. When's the last time the Lakers had a true point guard? Derek Fisher? Derek Fisher? Come on now. Derek Fisher's gonna get 8, 10 assists? No, no. And you also got to think that Kobe played in the triangle with Phil for a few years, and Phil's offense wasn't really ran by a point guard. It was kind of done in the system. Jordan and Scotty worked in. I don't really know all the science behind it, but I know that it's not a point guard oriented offense. It's centered around a dominant perimeter player and players to play off of him. And it worked even better with Shaq because he was dominant in the post, and you had that amazing player Kobe to play off of him. I don't think I really have any other notes on basketball. All Star snubs. All Star snubs. Kyrie Irving. I like playing with the Cavs in 2K because I'm one of those people who can play with any team. I don't want people saying I can only beat you with good teams. So I became a Kyrie fan after playing 2K, and I like to give a shout out to him for becoming an All Star on his second year in the league. Kyrie is nice. I didn't really like him coming out because he went to Duke. Boo! I hate the Blue Devils. I mean, you either like Duke or like North Carolina. I'm more of a North Carolina fan, so I have to hate Duke. But at the end of the day, hook 'em. Hook 'em. Football and basketball. That's what I say. And so, but Kyrie's an all star. He's a first timer. Who else is first timer? Drew Holiday's a first timer. I like Drew Holiday. I remember him, Lance Stevenson, Brandon Jennings, and Tyreek Evans were like the best four players in high school one day. I remember getting like the Slam high school editions. Slam is best basketball magazine ever, by the way. But I remember getting those, and like I was wondering who was gonna pan out, and I thought Drew would be the one who would never pan out. I thought Lance would be like doing his thing in the NBA now. I thought he'd be an All Star by now. But shout out to Drew for being the first All Star out of those four because I did not think that. I thought he'd be the best out of all of them. I mean, they're all decent players. Brandon Jennings is starting. He was dropping buckets his rookie year. Tyreek Evans got rookie of the year that year. Lance Stevenson, he's a bust now. But Drew's an All Star. Josh Smith is finally an All Star. I thought he got snubbed last year. Brooke Lopez got snubbed. I thought he was having an amazing year for the Nets, and the Nets are playing well too, especially since they got rid of Avery Johnson. They've been playing really well, so I was really surprised at that snub. Who else got? For the West, Steph Curry got snubbed. I can't really. I don't know. I like Steph. At the same time, I don't because one of the guys who lives down the hall, he's a Warriors fan. He's always in my ear talking about how good the Warriors are and how bad the Lakers are this year, and Steph being an All Star. So Steph deserved it. I'll give him that, but I don't really care. But I think actually overall, I think looking at the All Stars, the NBA has gone really downhill. Aside from your top players, Kevin Durant, Melo, LeBron, D Rose. I mean, how many 2010 guys are in the All Star game this year? Like, I don't think any of them are actually. I think Dwight Howard's like averaging 17 and 12. Blake Griffin's averaging like 17 and 10. I don't think there's any 2010 guys in the NBA this year. I could be wrong. Check the stats. I don't know. Point guards are good. Chris Paul, Tony Parker, Westbrook, Rondo before he got hurt. Kyrie. Point guards are pretty good. The shooting guards, I mean, you have Kobe and Wade, of course, but besides, James Harden's nice. James Harden's good. He's gonna be one of the best players. But I just feel like before, like when I was a kid, I thought they were so much more exciting. You had a Vince Carter, a Tracy McGrady, a young Paul Pierce, a Kevin Garnett battling the Dirk. I mean, they were just so exciting back then. Maybe it's because I'm at the point where I'm seeing like all the people I grew up idolizing as a child. They're all starting to retire. Kobe's still doing his thing, but Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, they're on their last legs. Iverson's gone. Tracy McGrady's gone. And it's kind of hard watching new guys come in and trying to be fans of new players when you didn't spend all your time rooting for these players. But that's just my rant about basketball. I didn't really talk about anything specific. But comment what you think. If you could beat me in 2K, leave your gamer tag. I'll hit you up in the summer when I get my Xbox back. Comment who you think would win in the 7 game series, the all Lakers, the all Celtics. Give me some Laker hate about our record. I don't really care. Just subscribe, feedback. I don't care. I just like talking to you guys when I get bored. But I'm Action Jackson. This is the Lakers talk, and I'll check y'all later. Peace.